What we are seeing in this country is judicial impunity, and we are having judiciary that has gone rogue. While we respect the principle of independence of judiciary and principle of separation of powers, we always think as Parliament that judiciary normally oversteps their mandate, because the work of judiciary is to interpret the law. The work of the executive is to implement, and the work of Parliament is to legislate and law-making process. What we are seeing as a country is where there is what we call overreach and overstating of their mandate. I think judiciary must be called to order. I said last year that the current judiciary we have has gone broke. While we appreciate that the rule of law and judicial independence should be respected, that one does not extend to judicial impunity and corruption. We are in a country now at the moment that Kenyans are saying, why hire a lawyer if you can pay a judge? And that is the we don't want to see. And that is why in 2003, the president, the former president Mwai Kibaki, said that there were radical judicial reforms. We don't want to live in a country where justice is being sold to the highest bidder, where court orders are issued at the expense, or court orders are just being issued at the expense and at convenience of people to do who can buy. The court orders we are seeing nowadays are being issued easily more than even tissue paper, and therefore it is very unfortunate. We want to call upon the Chief Justice, who is the chairperson of the Judicial Service Commission, to bring this judiciary into order. Where we, in fact, as we talk now, we must even do inquiry into state capture of judiciary, because we have seen cases where judiciary issues decisions and court orders that even does not make sense. How can you issue a court order against cutting down of NHIF to 300 shillings to every Kenyan? I thought these judges and judicial officers are family and relatives and their children and even their parents who are in the village, who cannot afford to pay 300 shillings, who cannot pay 500 shillings in NHIF. The president was proposing that NHIF cover the Kenyans who do not have job should be given opportunity to pay 300. How can you explain a court decision that says that don't pay 300 shillings for every Kenyan to access universal health coverage? Even on the affordable housing, are they aware more than 4 million Kenyans live in deplorable slum conditions in Nairobi, in Kisumu and other major cities? We're having even rural slum in some of the counties that we have in this country. The president has come up with a program of affordable housing where Kenyans, and one of the basic human rights is decent housing, food and clothing. The president is proposing to fix the issue of affordable housing. Why would somebody, where 4 million Kenyans live in dilapidated conditions, when it rains they get pneumonia and diseases, why would somebody who is a Kenyan and who is a judge sit and issue an order against developing affordable housing in the country? I think, as the president said, we must have a conversation as Kenyans, because while we respect the principle of separation of powers, while we respect the rule of law, I think some of the court decisions and court orders that are being issued does not make sense. And judiciary should be aware they are not immune to criticism. The people daily criticize Parliament and even executive. Why is it when we criticize judiciary for the rogue and the court orders that are being issued that does not make sense, or not even anchored in morality or law, the people who are quick to say they cannot be questioned is judiciary, the Law Society of Kenya, the Senior Bar Council. While we appreciate their concerns, they should assist us in fighting corruption in judiciary, because corruption is not only found in other areas but also in judiciary. And therefore, the president, as a Kenyan, as a leader of this country, was within his right. Number two, under Article 159, judicial authority is derived from the people. Article 160 the same. And they must exercise judicial authority in the principality of neutrality, in the principality of rule of law, and the Constitution. So judiciary does not exist in isolation. They derive their authority from the people under Article 159 of the Constitution. And therefore, as a country, we must even think where in other jurisdictions where judges are voted to office. It is a high time, as we have this conversation, judges and judicial officers must be voted to office, because in other jurisdictions like America, even the attorney generals of states are being voted for the offices, so that when they exercise power, they exercise on the